All right, it's time for another AND Campaign Civic update. And today I want to talk about the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He was on a university campus and basically got assassinated while he was doing what he did, which was go to universities and debate about politics, religion, and things of that nature. And let me first say this in an unqualified way. What happened was absolutely wrong. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die in this way. I don't have any exceptions. I don't have any nuance to that. It should not have happened. Nobody deserves to die for exercising their free speech. So neither his opinion on race, guns, or politics in general makes this okay. And we should see this as nothing but wicked and tragic, because that's exactly what it is. And you don't have to go too far down my social media posts to see that I had strong words for Charlie Kirk. I had a lot of disagreements with Charlie Kirk because I believe that ideas matter. And the ideas that we put into people's heads, the narratives that we put out there matter. And I think some of the narratives and ideas he put out there were very harmful. And so that should be addressed. I'm not going to sit here and act like that doesn't matter. It does matter. But it shouldn't go down this way. Any disagreement anybody had with Charlie Kirk should have been handled in debate, by refuting what he had to say, by debunking what he had to say in some instances. It should not have been handled by somebody getting shot. And in a way, it's odd, but this hit me kind of hard because I too, maybe on the other side, go around the country and engage in debate with people who have very different beliefs than me. I've been to places where I look in the eyes of people who I can tell hate me because they disagree with me. And you wonder sometimes, man, could one of these people get violent? Might I not come home to my children because somebody doesn't like what I had to say? And so it's not acceptable. And we need to be very clear about that not being acceptable. And why do we grieve? Why should we grieve right now, even if you had disagreements with somebody? Well, as Christians, we grieve the wickedness behind this. We grieve that whether I disagree with him or not, he had a family, he had children, he had a wife, he had parents and friends. And it's not our decision. We don't get to decide which opinions deserve to be in the public square or make things better. And if you think for a minute that this made anything better, you're wrong. Because like him or not, Charlie Kirk had a lot of young people that looked up to him all over the country at universities and places all over. And what can happen now, and I hope it doesn't happen, is those young people can be very radicalized and things can get really bad right now. So nothing has been solved. Nothing has been made better. We don't get to decide who deserves to be in the public square and have their opinion out there. And what's happening now is what we could expect to happen. People trying to score political points based off a tragic situation. So you had some conservatives that came out immediately and said, oh, this is all on the left. We're at war with them, and really just sparking things to make it worse. You had folks even on MSNBC on the left saying that Charlie Kirk was responsible for his own death. None of this stuff is helpful. The only person that's responsible is whoever did this and whoever planned it with that person. That's who's responsible. That's who's responsible. Now, we all do have a responsibility to keep things from getting elevated even from this point. And I hope we all take that responsibility very seriously. Now, I know some of us may be conflicted because this is a tough situation, and it's okay to be conflicted and to talk that out. If we have a hard time responding in a Christian way, I think it is time, as I've had to do in many cases, for self-examination. Who am I being discipled by? Where am I at in my heart? Let's have those real conversations and be honest about that. I think that's okay. One lesson I think we can take from the civil rights movement is that while it was certainly about changing systems and about changing legislation, one of the biggest principles of the civil rights movement was you never let your opponent have a negative impact on your spirit. Because you can win the debate, you can win the legislation, but if they have a negative impact on your spirit to where we can't sympathize or see this as a tragedy or see the wickedness behind this, then we've given up too much. And so if we find ourselves in that place, I think we need to look at, again, who are we being discipled by? You know, what is our intake? What's our algorithm look like that might have brought us to this point? And we got to pray through it. All right. Lastly, I'll just say that anybody celebrating this, making light of it based on his views on guns or anything like that, that's not where it's at. You're not helping the situation. You certainly wouldn't want somebody to respond in that way with somebody who you looked up to or cared about or knew. And let's be honest, many of us don't know anything about Charlie Kirk further than the snippets that we see. We haven't really studied what's going on. And I think I have, and I think there was a lot wrong there, but we can't react in a wicked way. And I see too much of that. So let's stay prayerful. I pray for his family. I pray for his children, especially his wife. And I pray that we respond in a responsible and aspirational and faithful way. God bless you.